The Lion Ride of Nasir Bakhta. Long ago, in a forgotten corner of the world nestled between emerald hills and a thick, whispering forest, there lived a poor potter named Nasir Bakhta. His home was a modest clay hut at the edge of the village of Gulabad, a place where time moved slowly and the people knew one another by the sound of their footsteps. Nasir was a man of quiet resolve and gentle eyes, worn by years of labor, sun, and simple living. Each morning, he rose before the birds and walked barefoot to the nearby river, where he scooped the cool, silty clay from the banks. His hands, calloused and skilled, shaped the earth into elegant vessels, pots and pitchers, each with a signature swirl etched at the base, a mark only the keen-eyed noticed. His only companion in this solitary trade was his donkey, Safed, a stubborn, shaggy creature who had grown old alongside him. Safed never hurried, never listened, but always came home. Life was unremarkable, yet peaceful, until the night the storm came. That evening, the sky darkened earlier than usual. Ominous clouds gathered like ancient titans above the hills, and a sharp wind swept through the trees, howling with a voice that sounded almost human. Nasir hurried to shelter his pots, covering them with cloth and rope, muttering prayers as lightning danced across the heavens. The storm struck hard. Rain poured like the fury of 1,000 drums, and thunder split the night in half. Animals scattered. Branches cracked and fell. In the chaos, Safed, spooked by a bolt of lightning, snapped his rope and disappeared into the darkness of the forest. Nasir didn't notice. He was inside, huddled by the fire, praying the storm would spare his fragile roof. By dawn, the storm had passed. Mist clung to the village like a secret, thick and low. Nasir stepped outside to prepare for the market. He yawned, rubbed his eyes, and walked around the side of the house, expecting to find Safed chewing on grass as he always did. Instead, he saw a large, hunched silhouette near the shed, half covered in shadow. The beast was soaked, its mane matted, and it breathed heavily through flared nostrils. But Nasir, in the half-light of morning and with sleep still clouding his vision, assumed it was Safed. "Aha! There you are, my lazy friend," he said, patting its damp side. "You run off in the storm and now you act like you've had the harder night." He heaved the bundled pots onto its back, tied them in place with practiced fingers, and climbed on. The creature stirred but didn't protest. With a gentle kick of his heels and a few familiar clicks of the tongue, Nasir set off down the road toward the village market. It wasn't until the sun broke through the clouds that Nasir noticed something strange. The creature beneath him was warm, powerful, its back broader than he remembered Safed's being. Its stride was silent but majestic. Nasir frowned. "Did you eat something strange last night, Safed?" he murmured. He wasn't alone on the road. Villagers had begun to stir. One woman screamed and dropped her water jar. A group of children ran behind a tree. A farmer gasped, fell to his knees, and began praying. Nasir waved at them with a confused smile. "Good morning. It's just me and Safed. The storm didn't take us." But it wasn't Safed. As he neared the market square, a murmur rose among the people. They gathered in hushed clusters, pointing, whispering, gawking. And then, someone shouted, "He's riding a lion." The words struck like lightning. Nasir froze. "A lion," he whispered. He slowly turned his head, and for the first time, truly looked, at the beast beneath him. Golden fur. Muscles like coiled rope. A long, sweeping tail. And a mane, thick and tangled, like a crown of fire. The pots on the lion's back jingled gently as the creature came to a halt. Time stopped. Nasir sat motionless, a heartbeat away from terror. The lion turned its head, meeting his eyes, ancient, golden eyes, filled with power and calm. It didn't roar. It didn't pounce. It simply looked. And then, slowly, with the grace of a king, it knelt, allowing Nasir to slide off. He did, legs shaking, heart thundering louder than the storm the night before. The lion gave a low, rumbling breath, something between a sigh and a farewell, then turned, and walked back toward the forest, disappearing into the trees. For a long moment, silence hung in the square. Then the villagers erupted. Some called him blessed. Others whispered that he had tamed the spirit of the forest. A few believed he was a prophet sent by the gods. All agreed on one thing: Nasir Bakhta, the poor potter, was no longer ordinary. From that day on, people traveled from distant towns and cities just to see him. They paid in silver for pots that once sold for pennies, believing they held a piece of magic, a touch of courage, a blessing from the wild. Nasir remained the same humble man, but his life was forever changed. He still rose before the birds. He still shaped clay with care. But he now did so with a quiet strength, a knowledge that fate had once lifted him from the dust and placed him on the back of a lion. And though he never saw the beast again, sometimes, when the wind howled through the forest or the mist settled thick around his home, he would smile softly and whisper, "Thank you, friend." And the people of Gulabad would tell their children, and their children's children, of the man who rode a lion, of Nasir Bakhta, the potter whose quiet courage turned him into a legend. For more stories, please like and subscribe the channel.